You like my sunglasses, Marie?
Yeah, I love your sunglasses. I think it's really cool.
You know why I have them on?
Why?
Because my future's so bright. I'm really just hiding the bags under my eyes. Anyway, I'm Jay.
Hi, I'm Marie.
And this is lunch break. You want to know what we're doing today, Marie?
Last week was pretty spooky. If you haven't seen Halloween edition of Lunch Break, go check it out. There's like really crazy stories. But right now, we're back to normal. We're back to crazy stuff. And Jay, what we're gonna have today?
Today, we're going to be on the subreddit, What Do I Do? As you may know, Marie and I are experts at life.
We know what to do. Not drink the water from the bottle, not lick the turtles if you don't know them personally.
Yeah, get to know them first. Awesome, let's get into it. All right, so our first post. My psychologist talked about me to my best friend. Find a new psychologist.
And a new friend.
I don't know if the friend's to blame yet, but what I will say is that if you are seeing a professional, they shouldn't really be talking about you to their other patients.
Friends they are? Family members? No. Big red flag.
I'm really upset, but to try and quickly sum up this situation, my friend, 34-year-old female, and I, 32-year-old female, both see the same psychologist. My friend referred me. In my own personal sessions with the psychologist, we talked about our friendship at times, and the psychologist once asked me to ask my friend for information about my parents. I have a hard time remembering my past, and we basically grew up together. But this is where the professional/friendship lines get blurry for me. My friend sent me this message recently, and it confused me at first. I was diagnosed ASD recently, so I'm still trying to come to terms with that. But after showing this message to my partner, they said this was extremely unprofessional of my psychologist and not to see her anymore. I'm sad because this is the first time I've ever spoke to a therapist or medical professional before, and it's been going so well. Even with the ASD diagnosis, we were working on getting me accommodations because I have a hard time working, etc. So I worry that I'll never get those accommodations / have to do this all over again with someone else.
Better to start and do it with someone else because it's not okay. Better start all this process from the beginning with a real professional because this person doesn't sound like professional because they are actually break the law.
Yeah, let's check out the message the friend sent. Had therapy, told her stuff about your parents, LOL. Also, she wants you to speak up when she says something you disagree with, LOL. Said it'll build your relationship. Now, it doesn't seem like super specific like what she spoke about. It's not suggesting, or the OP is not suggesting she said anything super private about the appointment, but that's already, like she did say, it's kind of blurring the lines between her professional relationship with the therapist and the fact that her friend recommended or referred the therapist to her, right?
I must tell you that when I last time was in the therapist office, she told me that she can be provider of therapy for my friends, my family members, my co-workers, anyone like this, anyone that I'm not personally related or know. What's the reason behind that? She's probably want to have like opinion about me from me, because when you like family members, you talk about each other and you change your mind about another person from one perspective to another. It's none of your business. Your business is work with this particular vessel and fill it up with the good thoughts and figure it out what's rotten inside. And going to a friend and tell her that she can't speak up. It's like, it's not correct way to talk.
It's blurring the lines.
Yeah.
It's kind of overstepping boundaries. It doesn't seem like they're necessarily full-blown crossing that crazy line. They're already starting to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Does it stink that you felt like you did have a connection with this therapist and you feel like you have to start over again? Yes. The more the therapist gets comfortable communicating in this way with both of you guys as their patient, the further across that line that therapist may go. To be on the safe side, I think it's a pretty easy answer. Just move on. Find another therapist.
You need to ask your friend do the same thing and find two separate therapists, because if this person do this to you, it's may do to other people, and your friend is not excluded from this list. So, yeesh, it feels so yucky. nothing was told bad, but you feel dirty. You know what I mean? Like someone see your dirty underwear and tell you like, hey, your underwear is dirty.
It seems like the consensus with some of these commenters are kind of the same thing, like find a new therapist, she crossed the line. One person says, hard pass on that therapist, wildly unprofessional. Most therapists will not accept you as a patient if they are seeing someone close in your life due to conflict of interest. Someone asked the OP, you sure your friend didn't bring it up as it relates to them? Hard to imagine them asking, definitely not allowed. And then OP responded, I wish I knew for sure. I haven't messaged my friend back. I was so shocked, but I should probably get more info from her. I'm not sure. I don't believe anything they mentioned would relate back to my friend, as this is mostly related to my own developmental trauma, but I feel like their conversation swung in the direction of my issues and they continue to talk about me.
That's the problem.
That you don't know?
That you don't know. And that you have idea that it happens because your therapist communicate to you through your friend. Now I feel weird because I don't know, do you talk about me? You talking about my problem with my friend?
Right.
And I can be sure about that.
Even if like this didn't directly happen as you think it may have, you already have that kind of discomfort.
Yeah.
Like maybe this is just your own intuition telling you that you need to find a different therapist. Does it stink that you have to start the process over? Yes, but you can also have your current therapist share notes with your new therapist. They study them and they get to know you and you just go from there. So it's not like totally from the beginning. I mean, you are starting from the beginning. Let's not get that wrong. It's a new relationship with a new professional. But if you're already having this many doubts or this many concerns, find a new therapist.
Yeah, you don't need this worm in your brain talking and tickling you. It's like, what if someone talking about me?
We hope you find the best possible solution for this.
Yeah.
So our next story is about some pretty cool glasses. I would know a thing or two about them. Although these glasses aren't the type of glasses we're about to talk about. Suspicious about roommate's boyfriend having Meta glasses at party. So if you're not familiar, Meta glasses are like those glasses from the company Meta who brought you Facebook, WhatsApp, all that good stuff. And they record and take pictures, right?
I think so, yeah. The most powerful thing is it's recording videos. It sounds like an issue with these videos.
Well, let's find out if it is. I, 26-year-old female, moved in with my roommate, 27-year-old female, about 2 months ago. Last Saturday night, she had her boyfriend, 32-year-old male, and friends over for a housewarming party. I was tipsy and exhausted from mimosas at a bridal shower earlier that day, but sitting next to him, I noticed he was wearing Meta glasses. I feel like he saw my smile drop a bit. I stuttered and then kept talking to him about whatever. I saw no blinking light, but I know you can tape it. Do people wear those for actual eyesight help? How likely is it that he's being sinister with them? My roommate isn't from America, and there's a slight language barrier. She's very sweet, and I'm worried she's not aware of his glasses being Meta. I think I'm going to ask her in a not accusatory way. Maybe asking her if his are prescription, because that's super fancy and expensive. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, how I know can cover the light is just stop working if you cover the light with the tape or something. Just because it's the issue that people can record you without and people use it for bad stuff.
Yeah, I think it does have those built-in features where it doesn't let you record. I'm not super familiar with them, but from like my understanding, they don't record for very long. I think they record for like a few minutes at a time. You want to check out the comments and see what other people say? Maybe there's people more knowledgeable about it.
Yeah, of course.
Because why would we do actual research when people could just tell us what to think, right?
What's the commenter say?
One commenter says, I can tell you I have Meta glasses for eyesight, and if you try to cover the light while recording or taking pictures, it won't allow you to. It specifically referenced this in the Meta app because it talks about how people don't like to be recorded or have pictures taken without their knowledge or consent. Also, it can't record for more than 3 minutes at a time. So unless you also see him constantly tapping the top of his glasses, he was most likely also just wearing them for eyesight. That or they're probably cool looking. You know, people like it.
Just a Ray-Ban.
And it seems like it has security features built into it already to keep you from doing that for that very reason. Because I'm sure if like you're able to just record without people's consent, like covering up the light so people can't see that it is recording, I'm sure that would be grounds for people suing Meta. So I'm sure they put those things in place to kind of cover their own ass too. Someone else wrote, I wear mine every day. They are prescription. I usually use them for listening to audiobooks or making calls. Also for translation and photos when I travel. It's obvious when you're recording. I don't think it's necessarily nefarious. Yeah, so to kind of go back to OP at the party, I think you can ask them like about the glasses in general. I don't think it's weird to ask them like, oh, do you use those for prescription? Do you like how they look? How do you use it? How do you know it's on? You don't have to like be so accusatory. But if you do like some light research like we did, I'm sure you'll find like the answers you need. I don't think he's over there recording everybody. And if he was, it'd probably be super obvious, right?
Yeah, and you can always ask, do you have a meta glasses? Do you recording right now? Do you actually do the videos? Can you show like you have some like just talk about that to figure it out if this person actually did something? Because I think that's all saved somewhere on the phone or whatever. Like I'm really curious. I maybe want to say, and you can just see what's this person recorded. And there was some recording from the party. Maybe I'm just looking too deep. Maybe I'm just being a woman who just like I want to know everything. I want to know if you record me drunk right now.
Yeah, to put yourself at ease, ask questions.
Yeah. You being recorded.
I wish. They're just regular glasses, but I'm taking a mental picture.
I'm not staring at you.
I am a cyborg photographer. Just act natural.
That's me.
All right, our last story. Hey, quick interruption here. We just wanted to take some time to tell you about a short film that we worked on with our friend Francesca Escano of Escano Studios. It's called I Did, He Didn't. Marie was an assistant director for the film. And we wanted you guys to check it out and let us know what you think. It was a fun project to work on. We're glad that we took part in it. And we want to just kind of spread the knowledge, spread awareness of it. You know, we have interests outside of lunch break. You know, we want to get into making films as well. We want to just kind of spread what we did. So if you guys have the time, check out the description down below for the link to I Did, He Didn't.
And we promise you, we did.
We did. Now back to the show. I accidentally made my barber think I'm way more successful than I am. Fake it till you make it?
You have a golden chain, but it's from AliExpress.
That was gonna be nice, as long as they don't turn your skin green.
Okay, let's go dive into it.
I've been going to the same barber for 8 months. First time there, he asked me what I do, and I was between jobs, so I just said, I work in tech. I do IT support. He somehow thought I meant like startup founder or something. Now, every time I go in, he asks about my company and investors. He introduced me to another client as a tech entrepreneur last month. Yesterday, he asked if I'm hiring because his nephew graduated with a computer science degree. I have some money set aside from stake for coding classes, but I can't tell him I'm just getting started at what he thinks I excel in without admitting I lied. Plus, he gives me discounts sometimes to support local entrepreneurs, which makes me feel terrible. Do I just come clean or switch barbers even though he's really good and close by? Move out of the country.
I know. I want to say like double down and just say like next time when you come to the barber, you can just like, I lose everything. I lose everything. Just one wrong code and everything is done. Investors, leave me. I'm broke. I still have money for a haircut. Can you do it for me?
Yeah, but I guess on a more serious note, it doesn't seem like you lied in the beginning, and you could have stopped this from like going down this slippery slope a long time ago. Like, you work in tech, yeah, you're being vague, but you work in tech can mean so many things, like from IT support to having your own tech startup to selling computers at Best Buy. That's on him for misconstruing what that means and believing in something totally different from what you actually are. However, I think where you start messing up is like, if he's asking you all these questions, you could just be like, hey, no, like I just work in the tech field. Now he's trying to like get you to hire his nephew. Like, what do you say to that? Like, could have just stopped that a long time ago. And then taking discounts, I don't think it's necessarily morally wrong because like, I'm not going to turn down a discount, but taking those discounts on such false pretext, that is kind of insane. You know what? It is wrong. But as far as just like his direct question, what should he do? Should he come clean at this point? Should he tell his barber like, hey, like you misunderstood what I said? Or do you think it's a little too late?
I think anyway you're gonna need to change the barber, because in this particular situation it doesn't matter that he's misunderstood you. Now after he's introduced you to other people, telling about family members who's in the same field, you don't say, hey, no, you cooked. You need to come clean and change the barber. Maybe he just like, oh, duh, I was just imagining something. Continue working with you because you're still customer and you still bring him money. Be prepared that probably you need to change the barber.
Like I said, the part that I'd be upset about taking the discounts.
That the discount's not for you.
The discount shouldn't have been for you. I mean, it's on him for giving it to you, and you could view it that way. But I think, like you said, like either way, you're probably gonna have to change barbers. You could totally come clean about this, clear your conscience. Probably thinks you're a dickhead, and probably wouldn't want to work with you. Like he might still like take you in for appointments because you're a paycheck, but you might not get the best haircuts anymore. Or you could just kind of skip that awkward conversation and just go to a completely different barber. Hopefully your town's big enough where you could go across town. You should have been honest from the beginning. Let's see what other people say. Just go to a different barber, man, LMAO. You didn't lie to him. You do work in tech. He made assumptions and went with it. Tell him, I've been meaning to tell you, I do work in tech, but in IT support. I don't know exactly what you initially thought I do for work, but I was too embarrassed to correct you. Or maybe he's really just trying to hype you up. He thinks it's cool that you work in tech, and it's his way of trying to show his support. Right, but he did say he wants to support local entrepreneurs, business owners. He didn't say, I want to support the guy who answers the phone and talks about my computers.
Usually this happens if it's like, it's the owner of the shop who's cutting your hair and beard.
It could be the owner of the shop, but it could also be like, situation like with your tattoos, you're self-employed, but you might work in a shop.
It still is like,
so you're technically a small business owner as well. But yeah, he's offering that discount. You're a fellow self-employed person, so that's where it's kind of like when it's like offering discounts and kind of taking money out of his pocket essentially. That's where I'm kind of like, ugh.
He probably wait for something because he's trying to introduce you to the people. He trying to pushing his family members to you. Probably even this discount is not for the tender heart. It's just because he wants from you something, especially like probably pushing nephew towards this field. But you just being awkward and you don't tell anything. And now you're in a big, small trouble.
I think we do have the best answer here, though.
Okay.
Obviously, you have to start a tech company now. Problem solved. So, Marie, you think we gave sound advice?
I think we at least look at the situations in a different angle. Maybe our advice is not necessary anymore for OP, but it could be necessary for you to make this silly mistakes.
And if you like our unprofessional, untrained takes and want some for your own life, hit us up with your problems over at our subreddit r/lunchbreak_GSP. And Marie, if they haven't already, what else should they do?
They always can press the like button on the video, left a comment, because we're always happy to hear what do you think about this stories today. And subscribe on our channel. We're really happy when you press that red button and make it gray. And we're really happy to see you in the next episode of Lunch Break. Bye.
Bye.